Thank you indeed, John Clark. It's 8 o'clock in Melbourne.
Classic rock and Dixieland, country folk and opera grand. It's here for you, it's here for me, your level 8.3. Happy days are here again. Happy days are here again. The skies above are clear again. Let us sing a song of cheer again. Happy days are here again.
Happy Days is certainly here again. The gang's assembled in the studios down here at Southern FM as we prepare to celebrate 100 editions of your favourite nostalgia program. So ladies and gentlemen, let's cross over to the studio now and begin our 4-hour journey down memory lane and the 100th edition of Thanks for the Memory. Yes, as the man said, welcome along everyone to program number 100 on the 8th of September 1996. Your program, Thanks for the Memory, through until midnight, and a special edition tonight. We've thrown the normal format away. We're going to play music for you all night long, and a lot of requests to get through, and some specials where we've taken a grab from our first program. We've taken a grab from various nostalgia programs over the many years that I've been listening to radio. So I hope you're going to enjoy it. Stay with me for the 4 hours because it's going to be a real blast. Musically speaking, to get us underway, and a bright one, Singing in the Rain, Jack Hilton and his orchestra.
Hello, I'm Shirley Morgan, and you're listening to Thanks for the Memory with Alex Hehr.
here is Dick Todd. A beautiful song at 8:05. This is Blue Orchids.
It's been often said that rich he'll be who dreams of something blue. Richer I shall always be, for that's how I found you. I dreamed of two blue orchids, two beautiful blue orchids one night, while in my lonely room. I dreamed of two blue orchids so full of love and life that I wanted to possess each tender bloom. Then my dream took wings, and through 1,000 springs, blue orchids seemed in a world apart. But when I met you, something pale and blue came stealing from the meadows of my heart. I saw my two blue orchids, my beautiful blue orchids last night, and what a sweet surprise. When you look at me, it was plain to see blue orchids only bloom in your eyes. Took wings, and through 1,000 springs, blue orchids seemed in a world apart. But when I met you, something pale and blue came stealing from the meadows of my heart. I saw my two blue orchids, my beautiful blue orchids last night, and what a sweet surprise. When you looked at me, it was plain to see blue orchids only bloom in your eyes.
Well, how about that for openers? Two lovely songs, Jack Hilton's orchestra, Pat O'Malley the vocalist, and Singin' in the Rain. And then we took you back to August 1939 and the late Dick Todd. Blue Orchids. Dick Todd was a Canadian, and he had quite a prolific recording career and then just disappeared, and no one seems to know, including his son, where his whereabouts or how he ended up. So he left us a legacy of wonderful songs, and we thought we'd play Blue Orchids for you tonight. Beautiful track. 8:30 now with 88.3. You're listening to Southern FM and the 100th edition of Thanks for the Memory. You're listening to Thanks for the Memory, part of your weekend on Southern FM 88.3. 9 minutes after 8, the Green Cross Project is looking for volunteer bus drivers to drive Ken's Bus, a community health service vehicle providing a free and confidential health service to young people. And it'll allow it to expand into the Springvale area. Details certainly from Marty Smythe on 9791 9299. 9791 9299. It's 9:30 after 8, and shortly we'll be back with the first of our requests for Margaret. Celebrating 400 hours of top nostalgia, you're listening to the 100th edition of Thanks for the Memory on 88.3 Southern FM, the station that sounds great to me. Sure does. It's 11.6 degrees outside in Moorabbin, and coming up to 10 after 8, and the first of our requests for our program this evening for our special centenary edition, and this goes out to Margaret from Noble Park, and she's been with me from the very beginning. And Margaret, you're a long time supporter, and thank you very, very much for all those requests that you've phoned and written in for. You're the first cab off the rank tonight, and only rightly so. And for you, a lovely song. Lanny Ross with Nat Finston's Paramount Recording Orchestra, and this is Stay As Sweet As You Are.
Stay as sweet as you are, don't let a thing ever change you. Stay as sweet as you are, don't let a soul rearrange you. Don't ever lose all the charm you possess. You're a loveliness, darling, the way you say yes. As you are, discreet as you are, you're divine, dear. Stay as grand as you are, and as you are, tell me that you're mine, dear. Young and gay, or old and gray, near to me or afar. Night and day I pray that you'll always stay as sweet as you are. Beloved, I think nothing but the best of you. You gave life a lovely flavor the day you came along. You made life a song. Beloved, let me make this one request of you. It's a very simple favor. Darling, I want you to stay as sweet as you are. Don't let a thing ever change you. Stay as sweet as you are. Don't let a soul rearrange you. Don't ever lose all the charm you possess. Your loveliness, darling, the way you say yes. Stay as sweet as you are, discreet as you are, you're divine, dear. Stay as grand as you are, and as you are, tell me that you're mine, dear. Young and gay, or old and gray, near to me or far. Night and day I pray that you'll always stay as sweet as you
Local news and views and the greatest variety of music, this is Southern FM 88.3.
We met, and I dream of you yet, with the wind and the rain in your hair. I held you tight as you whispered goodnight, with the wind and the rain in your hair. Now it will be my favorite memory, that vision of you standing there in the mist. How you sighed when we kissed, with the wind and the rain in your hair.
time is 16 and a half past 8 o'clock. I love that last song we just heard. Brian Lawrence, the Australian singer Brian Lawrence, and his Romano's Sextet from 1939 on a Regal Zonophone 78, pressed up there in Homebush, the Columbia Graphophone Company, and great sound about it, that 78, with the wind and the rain in your hair. Brian Lawrence, Australia's own. And before that, of course, for Margaret, we heard Lanny Ross with Nat Finston's Paramount Recording Orchestra, Stay As Sweet As You Are. 17 after 8 with 88.3 Southern FM, and we play the oldies, we play the old music, the old commercials, and I wonder how many people remember this.
Go to the pictures, to a picture show. Let's go to the pictures where the lights are down low. Don't really care whether skies are gray or fine.
'Cause we'll be holding hands together in a wonderland where stars are always shining.
Let's go to the pictures where we sit and dream. 2 tickets to heaven on the silvery screen. We can ride the range west, be a movie star's guest, or a Juliet or Romeo. Let's go to the pictures, to a picture show. We can ride the range west, be a movie star's guest, or a Juliet or Romeo. Let's go to the pictures, to a picture show.
Great memories there when we used to call them pictures, remember? A little bit scratchy, that one, but it's an acetate there, and that used to be the introductory theme and the outro for Hoyt's movies and music on the radio back in the 50s and the very early 60s, but thought you'd like to hear that. And of course, when we were going to the pictures, where did we go? Well, let's have Bob Horsfall and the Tune Twisters tell us.
Oh, we can't show all the pictures, so we only show the best. The others get the rest. You can't put it to the test. So ring your girlfriend right away. When she hears the news, she'll say hooray and hurry along to Hoyt's Suburban Theatre. So don't delay, go right away. There's lots of fun for everyone at Hoyt's Suburban Theatre.
Memories of days gone by when we used to go to the Hoyt's Suburban Picture Show. Gee, there were lots of them around, weren't they? I remember going as a kid and paying 3pence or 6pence, I think it was, to get in those days. The Saturday matinee. 19 and a half past 8 is the time. Your program, of course, thanks for the memory. And this is edition number 100. Hope you're enjoying the music so far. Lots more to go. Jim Davidson and the new Palais Royal Orchestra, they're next up on the turntable. And here's a tune they recorded up in Sydney on the 2nd of November 1933, the original Dixieland One-Step. A very rare 78 to get this one these days. And after that, we're going to hear from Albert Sandler's orchestra. The tune he's playing is From Me to You, and you may recall it as the music which introduced the Clive Amadio program on ABC Radio. But firstly, here's Jim Davidson, the new Palais Royal Dance Orchestra, and the original Dixieland One-Step.
reaching into your community. The great southern sounds of Melbourne, 88.3 Southern FM.
Wonderful memories of the Clive Amadio program on the ABC, and the announcer John Chance saying join us again next week, won't you, for another program. And that was a lovely piece, wasn't it? From Me to You, Albert Sandler and his orchestra. Before that, the original Dixieland One Step, and they were swinging along nicely, Jim Davidson's new Palais Royal Orchestra. 88.3 Southern FM, it's 8:27.
The Reserve Bank has just released a new $100 note. So now that all the notes are plastic and the same width, how does a blind person tell them apart?
That's no longer hard for most of us, as they are all different lengths. And the National Federation of Blind Citizens of Australia has developed Cash Test Australia, a note measuring device that is simple to use and which fits easily into a wallet or purse.
So I won't need to ask someone else to sort my notes for me anymore?
No, not with the new plastic notes in Cash Test Australia.
Do I contact NFBCA to get one of these note guys?
You can, or your local blindness organisation has them. There is also an information tape available that explains how to use Cash Test Australia and a little about the new $100 note. If you have any queries, just phone the National Federation of Blind Citizens of Australia on 1800 033 660.
What was that number?
1800 033 660.
Now, the City of Glen Eira is seeking volunteer drivers and assistants for Meals on Wheels service. This service delivers meals to the homes of residents who are unable to prepare hot meals for themselves. Meals on Wheels is a very rewarding experience to people who have the time to spare, and it offers a unique way to develop an awareness of the difficulties that confront certain members of our community. The estimated time required is 2 hours a day between 10:30 and 12:30, so it's only a couple of hours. The service encourages volunteers to nominate their availability, whether it be 1 day per week or 1 day per fortnight or whatever. And drivers receive a petrol allowance of $5 each day for service. Now, you can contact Margaret Knowles on the Home Care Service extension 9532 3303. That's 9532 3303. So that's a very worthwhile service, Meals on Wheels. 29 minutes after 8 with 88.3, the centenary edition of Thanks for the Memory. You're listening to the 100th edition of Thanks for the Memory, right here on 88.3, the station that sounds great to me. Well, for a show to reach 100 episodes, it had to start somewhere, and I've just got a little 5-minute grab from the tape of the first program I did, which went to air, let me see, was it the 16th? 16th of October 1994, and we were working out of the shoebox, which we called it, because it was a shocking little room, with, well, not the best of equipment, and also we froze in winter, and we almost died of heat exhaustion in summer. But we put up with it because we knew better things were coming, and we sit in the new modern studio that we work out of now. But here is a grab, as I say, from the first edition of the program, Thanks for the Memory, number 1, back on the 16th of October 1994. We get a laugh at this.
You're in tune with Southern FM 88.3 on the dial. The time is now 4.5 minutes past 8 o'clock. I'm Hehr, and this is Thanks for the Memory. Between now and midnight, it's my pleasure to bring you 4 hours of nostalgia. And tonight we're featuring themes we remember, our Hall of Fame, a competition, Crosby Corner, a special at 10 o'clock, some comedy at 11, On This Day at 11:15, and Al Bowley Remembered at 11:30. A good lineup on Southern FM tonight. And I think we'll kick along with a nice bright one to open our program, and here are the Bandoliers. Where the time has now moved along to 23 past 8. Until midnight, you're listening to Thanks for the Memory with Hehr on the great Southern Sounds of Melbourne, Southern FM 88.3. Very nice numbers there. Firstly, we heard She Didn't Say Yes from The Cat and the Fiddle, a 1931 composition from Jerome Kern and Otto Harbach. And then from Jim Davidson's ABC Dance Orchestra, In the Chapel in the Moonlight, Alice Smith and John Warren on the vocals there, and a very beautiful recording. Hope you enjoyed it. Southern FM, it's coming up to 8:30, and we'll have this message and then another recording.
Melbourne Discount Books are proud to sponsor Southern FM.
to relive memories of radio and TV shows of the past with Themes We Remember. Yes, here's the part of the show where we take a trip back down memory lane in respect of radio and television shows, and we're going to play a couple of themes that you will no doubt remember. First one coming up is entitled Sanctuary of the Heart. It was written by Albert W. Kettelby and was used by Radio 3XY for the program The Burtons of Banner Street, which is a serial which went to air on, I think, every weeknight. Anyway, The Burtons of Banner Street, and I'm sure a lot of people out there will remember this lovely piece called Sanctuary of the Heart, the first one in Themes We Remember. Sanctuary of the Heart it was, from The Burtons of Banner Street, Radio 3XY. On Themes We Remember, it's 22 minutes before 9 o'clock. Well, our next theme was also used on radio, but we changed stations to the now defunct, of course, 3DB. A very sad story, too, that there's no more 3DB. It was always considered, I think, the family station. A long-running radio program on that particular station was D24. And here is the Queen's Hall Light Orchestra to play Epic Story, which was used for many, many years as the theme for D24. The orchestra is conducted by one of my favourite composers and arrangers, Robert Farnan. Epic Story.
Well, memories there of our first show back on the 16th of October 1994, and apologies for the quality of that, but we didn't have really top-notch recording equipment, and that was recorded in a little cassette deck that was used for monitoring off-air in those days, which is unfortunate, but we'll have a nice pristine copy of this program, I can assure you, the number 100. But I thought you'd just like to hear that, and later on in our program we'll be playing the track that I opened the show with way back then, which was the Christie Minstrels Medley, the Bandoliers, coming up, and that was the very first track I played, and we'll play that right through a little later in our program. But of course we have many listeners to the show, people who sometimes haven't rung in, and in fact a lady rang in last week and made herself known to me, and we're playing a request for Ellen later on in our show. But there's a lot of people out there that never do ring, and they're sort of the unknown quantity. But one of the persons that did ring in was Bruce, and Bruce passed away, sadly, beginning of this year from some problems that he had health-wise, and he was a great fan of Victor Sylvester. So I thought tonight, in memory of Bruce, we would play a Victor Sylvester track. So Bruce, I know you're up there looking down, and I hope you enjoy Victor Sylvester and The Golden Tango. Here it is for you. Golden Tango. And that was Victor Sylvester and his Ballroom Orchestra. And we played that one especially for Bruce. And Jan, I know, is listening out there tonight. Hope you enjoyed that one too, Jan. And thank you for all your support. I think Jan's been with me since about program 2 or 3, which is terrific. Good to keep listeners like that. 20 and a half minutes away from 9 o'clock now. You're with 88.3.
Sunday, September the 15th, it's Grand Final Day in the Southern Football League. And you can catch all the action right here on 88.3 Southern FM.
They got all the drama and the colour of the big game. That's Daryl and John. Providing kick by kick, ball by ball to strip them.
Your beauty.
Oh, I'll be joined by former Richmond and Collingwood champ, David Cloak, veteran of over 300 VFL games, who'll be adding his expert comment.
The 1996 SFL Grand Final is proudly brought to you by Cheltenham Authorised News Agency of 322 Jarman Road, Cheltenham. The Southern Football League Grand Final coverage exclusive to 88.3 Southern FM.
Oh, bit of an assault on the ears, boys. 20 to 9. Until midnight, you're listening to Thanks for the Memory with Alex Hehr on the great Southern Sounds of Melbourne, Southern FM 88.3. The nice thing about putting a program 100 together is that you can play all the tracks that you like. And of course, over 30 years of being into nostalgia, there's been many tunes that I enjoy. And I guess if you were looking at any nostalgia program, the name that most often appears would be probably either of Chick Henderson or Al Bowley. Probably 1 and 2 they would go, probably Al first, with Chick closely following as second. They were great vocalists in their day, both from England, and both tragically died as a result of war acts, or acts that happened during the Second World War. Well, they're going back to back here tonight. First up, we're going to play one of the most popular songs ever recorded, I would think, or at least in this country. It went through something like 10 years on the charts, when I say the charts, on the Regal Zonophone catalogue. It was 10 years in the catalogue, and by the time it was deleted, it had they had made 26 masters for pressing Begin the Begin. So that's a phenomenal effort. They must have issued thousands and thousands and thousands of copies of the particular disc. And so Chick Henderson with Joe Loss and his band to sing first up Begin the Begin. We're playing this one for Les down there at East Bentley, and then we'll back straight up with that song from Al Bowley called The Moment I Saw You, another lovely song. So here you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. Les in particular, lovely song. Here it is, Begin the Begin, Chick Henderson.
When they begin the begin, it brings back the sound of music so tender. It brings back a night of tropical splendor. It brings back a memory evergreen. I'm with you once more under the stars, and down by the shore an orchestra's playing, and even the palms seem to be swaying when they begin the begin. Clutches my heart, and there we are swearing to love forever, and promising never to part. What moments divine, what rapture serene, till clouds come along to disperse the joys we had tasted. And now when I hear people curse the chance that was wasted,
I said to myself, she's too nice a baby to leave on the shelf. What neatness, what sweetness, those two eyes of blue. They got me completely, and I fell for you. The moment I saw you, the sweet smile you wore, the cute glance you gave me, I knew more and more that you were the girl I was meant to adore. I knew it the moment I saw you.
Moment I Saw You, Al Bowley, Ray Noble's orchestra, and before that, of course, Chick Henderson, Begin the Begin, with Joe Loss and his band. It's 11:15 to 9. You're on. And your program, of course, is the 100th edition of Thanks for the Memory. The Playgrounds and Recreation Association of Victoria is offering golf for beginners classes, and they commence on the 5th of October. That's a Saturday, and run for 5 weeks throughout metropolitan golf courses. 5 easy 1-hour lessons and you'll be able to play golf. Well, that might work for some people. Golf balls and clubs are supplied. Tuition is conducted by the course professional. Excuse me. And the cost is just $65 for those 5 1-hour sessions. These classes are organised as a fundraising exercise, and all proceeds go to the running of the Playgrounds and Recreation Association of Victoria. Their applications close next Friday, the 13th. Ooh, dear. And if you have any further inquiries or require a registration form, then ring 9388 1066. You got a pen? 9388 1066. 10.5 minutes before 9 with 88.3 Southern FM, and right back to the music in a moment. Until midnight, you're on Thanks for the Memory from Southern FM 88.3. 10 to 9, you are with 88.3 Southern FM, and here comes Judy Garland with the Bob Crosby Orchestra from June 1936.
Savoy, the home of sweet romance. Savoy, it wins you at a glance. Savoy gives happy feet a chance to dance. Your form just like a clinging vine. Your lips so warm and sweet as wine. Your cheeks so soft and close to mine. Divine. How my heart is singing while the band is swinging. Never tired of romping, stopping with you at the Savoy. What joy, a perfect holiday. Savoy, where we can glide and sway. Savoy, then let me stomp away with you. sweet as wine, your cheeks soft and close to mine, divine. Oh, how my heart is singing while the band is swinging, never tired of romping, stopping with you at the Savoy. What joy, Savoy, Savoy, they let me stop away with you.
Ah, love that song. Savoy there, the Stopping at the Savoy song, Judy Garland with Bob Crosby's orchestra from 1936. Well, Mum and Dad, I think it's time we had a bit of a dance, don't you? Righto, get up, push the chairs under the table and pull back the rug. Here we go. It's Jack Papworth and the Old Time Dance Orchestra. Lovely medley, and Mum and Dad, you can have a bit of a dance to this.
My wild Irish rose, my wild Irish rose, the dearest flower that grows, and someday for my sake she may let me take the bloom from my wild Irish
Well, there you are. I hope you enjoyed that one from the National Old Time Dance. Jack Papworth and his orchestra, and my Wild Irish Rose selection there, and a lovely Pride of Erin tempo too. Well now, what's our station? 88.3.
This is the voice of the southern suburbs. 88.3 Southern FM.
Thank you indeed, Peter. And I hope my good friend Mary is listening out there in Glen Iris. Mary and Maria, they've been supporting me along with many others, but particularly Maria and Mary out at Glen Iris. They've been great fans of the program and had many requests played. And they asked some time ago for a lovely Irving Berlin tune called Remember. And I'm going to play that for Mary tonight, and then after that I'm playing it by Guy Lombardo and his Royal Canadians, and straight after that we're going to have an Irving Berlin waltz medley which features Remember in it also. Mary, so you're going to get a double bunger, but first up, Guy Lombardo and the Royal Canadians, Remember.
What'll I do when you are far away and I am blue? What'll I do? What'll I do when I am wondering who is kissing you? What'll I do? What'll I do with just only dreams of you that won't come true? What'll I do? Remember the night you said I love you. Remember you vowed by all the stars above you. Remember we found a lonely spot, and after I learned to care a lot, you promised that you'd forget me not, but you forgot to remember. All alone, I'm so all alone. There is no one else but you. All alone by the telephone, waiting for a ring, a ting-a-ling. I'm all alone every evening, all alone, feeling blue, wondering where you are and how you are, and if you are all alone too.
Well, there you are, Mary. I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did myself. Sam Brown and a lovely Irving Berlin waltz medley, What'll I Do, Remember, and All Alone. And we heard Remember before, played by the Guy Lombardo Royal Canadians for my very good friend Mary, and I hope you enjoyed it. 9:02.
Where today's community news makes conversation, the great southern sounds of Melbourne. 88.3 Southern FM.
I hope you're enjoying the 100th edition of Thanks for the Memory, right here on the station that sounds great to me, 88.3. Yes, I do. Hope you were enjoying the show. 2.5 after 9, and we're in our second hour, and we've got more requests coming up right now. First up, for Jan Simcoe, the aforementioned Jan Simcoe has been listening since around program number 2, and you wanted to hear Noel Coward, the master himself, Sir Noel Coward, and we're going to play the track I Went to a Marvellous Party, and this is a lot of fun, so hope you enjoyed that one, Jan. And then for a lady who rang last week and said that she'd been listening since the beginning of the year, but hadn't rung in before, and I was delighted to hear from you, Alan, over there in Ormond, and I didn't get your husband's name, I'm sorry about that, but you asked me could I play something by Glenda Raymond, and we've never played anything by Glenda on the program before, so it's a first in our 100th edition of the show. From Giuseppe Verdi's La Traviata, we're going to play the drinking song. Glenda Raymond is accompanied by the concert orchestra, conducted by her husband, of course, Hector Crawford. But first, Noel Coward and I Went to a Marvellous Party, and then Glenda will come along. So, hope you enjoy it.
Well, I don't know, it's the most extraordinary experience. I'd say not everybody has that sort of, I suppose, something to do with the sun and all that. I wouldn't understand myself, really. You know, quite for no reason, I'm here for the season and high as a kite, living in error with Maud at Cap Ferrer, which couldn't be right. You know, everyone's here frightfully gay. You know, nobody cares what people say. Now, though the Riviera is really much queerer than Rome at its height, on Wednesday night I went to a marvellous party with Nunu and Nada and Nell. You know, it was in the fresh air, and we went as we were. And we stayed as we were, which was hell. Poor Grace started singing at midnight, and she didn't stop singing till 4. We knew the excitement was bound to begin when Laura got blind on Dubonnet and gin and scratched her veneer with a Cartier pin. I couldn't have liked it more, honestly. I mean, it was a marvellous party. We played the most wonderful game. Maureen disappeared and came back in a beard, and we all had to guess at her name, imagine. Old Cecil, good old Cecil, arrived wearing armour, some shells, and a black feather ball. Poor Millicent wore a surrealist comb made of bits of mosaic from St. Peter's in Rome. But the wait was so great that she had to go home. I couldn't have liked it more, honestly. It's the most fabulous sight. I've never seen such a carry-on. I mean, it couldn't happen anywhere else but on the Riviera. It was most peculiar. You know, people's behaviour away from Belgravia would make you aghast. So much variety watching societies campering past. You know, if you have any mind at all, Gibbon's divine decline and fall sounds pretty flimsy. No more than a whimsy. By way of contrast, on Wednesday last, I went to a marvellous party. I must say the fun was intense. We all had to do what the people we knew might be doing 100 years hence. Can you beat it? We talked about growing old gracefully, and Elsie, who's 74, said, A, it's a question of being sincere, and B, if you're supple, you've nothing to fear. Then she swung upside down from a glass chandelier. I couldn't have liked it more. I've been to a marvellous party. We didn't sit down to dinner till 10. You know, and young Bobby Carr did a stunt at the bar with a lot of extraordinary men. Poor Frida arrived with a turtle, which shattered us all to the core. The Duchess passed out at 2:45, and suddenly Cyril cried, fiddly-dee, and he ripped off his trousers and jumped in the sea. I couldn't have liked it more. I've been to a marvellous party. Elise made an entrance with May. You never have guessed from her fisherman's vest that her bust had been whittled away. Poor Lulu got fried on Chianti and talked about esprit de corps. Louise made a couple of passes at Gus, and Freddie, who hates any kind of a fuss, did half the Big Apple and twisted his truss. Ha ha! I couldn't have liked it more.
For local news and views and the greatest variety of music, this is Southern FM 88.3.
Where beauty and mirth are beckoning, teach me the sweet playing around. Let joy crown the cup with blood, and life a dream of bliss. While you sweep by within us, fun shall love's delight inspire us. With such bright eyes to fire us, what joy can equal this? Then come, with the wine cup where love is beckoning, life is a short dream of bliss. My days shall pass in a dream of ecstasy, by joyous friends surrounded. Give me a measure of rapture unbounded. There is no life but this. While endless time lies swiftly on, enjoy the time of flowers, who soon will fade the birds, then vain to sigh for bliss. Oh, enjoy with pleasure and mirth of ecstasy, while all the morning is mine, and make no more delight, for weary is no
That was Glenda Raymond, and she was recording there a live concert. It would have been probably at 3DB, and the concert orchestra was conducted by Hector Crawford on that recording of the drinking song from La Traviata. And down the track a little bit, we'll probably have a month or so, and then we'll slot in a complete half-hour program with Glenda Raymond, which I've acquired, and thank you, Jamie. So we'll play one of those in about a month's time. We'll slot that in. So I hope you enjoyed that one, Alan down there in Ormond, and your husband, of course. It's 9:30 now with 88.3.
Hi, I'm Louise McMahon, and I want you to answer this quiz. Do you like music from the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s? Yeah! Would you like to hear your request on radio? Yeah! And do you want to know what's on in your community?
Yep.
And would you also like to delve into the day's horoscopes? Well, if you answered yes to all of these questions, tune in to 88.3 Southern FM each Monday between 2 and 4 o'clock and join me for a Manic Monday.
Thank you, Lou. 9:10 with 88.3 Southern FM, and we keep the music coming. And we've got Alice Faye lined up on the turntable now. Alice Faye, Mrs. Phil Harris, both now passed on, with the Cy Fure Orchestra, recording in March 1937, the tune Wake Up and Live. And then we're going to have a track for Denise Lynn, one of our presenters here and a hard worker at the station. And Denise, I'm going to play for you Bing Crosby singing I'll Take You Home Again, Kathleen. I have got the other record you asked for, but I'll play that in another program, probably next week. I think it's more suited tonight that we play Bingo for you and I'll Take You Home Again, Kathleen. But first up, here's Alice Faye, Wake Up and Live.
Wake up and live, don't mind the rainy patter, and you will find it's mind over matter. Dark clouds will break up if you will wake up and live. Wake up and live, show the stuff you're made of, just follow through. What are you afraid of? You'll try it, won't you? Say, why don't you wake up and live? Come out of your shell, hey fella, find your place in the sun. Come out of your shell. Say, fella, just be a go-getting son of a gun. Oh, wake up and live. If Lady Luck is yawning up on your toes, a better day is dawning. Don't let up, get up and give. Give yourself a shake up and wake up and live. Don't mind the rainy patter, and you will find it's mind over matter. Dark clouds will break up if you will wake up and hee-da-dee-ha-ha-ho-ho-hee. Wake up and live, show the stuff you're made of, just follow through. What are you afraid of? You'll try it, won't you? Say, why don't you wake up and live? Wake up and live, come out of your shell. Hey fella, find your place in the sun. Come out of your shell. Say, fella, just be a go-getting son of a gun. Whoa, wake up and live. If Lady Luck is yawning up on your toes, a better day is dawning. Don't let up, get up, and yeah, you gotta give yourself a shake up. Yeah, you gotta wake up. Wake up and live.
Kathleen, across the ocean wild and wide, to where your heart has ever been, since first you were my bonnie bride. The roses all have left your cheek. I've watched them fade away and die. Your voice is sad whene'er you speak, and tears bedim your loving eyes. Oh, I will take you back, Kathleen, to where your heart will feel no pain. And when the fields are fresh and green, I'll take you to your home again.
There you are, Denise. Hope you enjoyed that one. Bing Crosby, the Bingle it was. I'll Take You Home Again, Kathleen. And before that we heard Wake Up and Live from Alice Faye. 17 after 9 and temperature reading, it's 11 degrees outside our studios here in Moorabbin. Well, when you fall in love with nostalgic music, there has to be a cause, and I guess it stems back to the days when I loved the pianola that we had at home, and then I started listening to radio and was hearing shows like Sweethearts of Yesterday on 3GL, and then there was a program on 3AW on a Saturday night called Number Please, and at 8:30 through until 9 o'clock on Saturday nights, the then host of the show, Bruce Mackay, used to play about 7 or 8 78s from the old AW library, long since gone, and he called it the Golden Wedding segment. And he played these 78s and I was absolutely fascinated. So I started collecting 78s, and that's, I guess, how it started. Let's just take a grab from one of the shows from August 1966. Just the introduction of the show, of the segment of the show, sponsored by Colvan Chips, the Golden Wedding segment. And anyone that listened to AW back 30 years ago, this might bring back a memory or two. Here we go.
What is a chip? A Colvan chip is a second of crunch, a moment of munch, and a packet full of pleasure. A Colvan chip is fun with fish, a time saver with roasts and with grills, a happy surprise. Colvan chips are starch reduced, and when you open the pack, you'll find them fresh as the morning. Colvan chips are everybody's favorite.
Welcome once again to the Golden Wedding segment. Yes, welcome once again to the Golden Wedding segment, and for those people celebrating 50 years together, I hope that you'll relax, sit back by the fireside and enjoy your Colvan chips, and most certainly enjoy the great music we have coming up for you. we're commencing our Golden Wedding segment tonight. I have a recording by Dick Todd, and a very early one, and a really popular one, too. It was for Dick Todd. 1942 it was released, I notice here. And Dick Todd sings Polka Dots and Moonbeams.
Would you care to hear the strangest story? At least it may be strange to you.
Yes, memories of Bruce Mackay on 3AW and the Golden Wedding segments. Used to love those. I've recorded many of them. Still got them on tape, but I guess 30 years down the track, the tape is just about had it. We'll have to try and do something and save it before it goes completely. Thought you might like to hear that. That's sort of what got me interested in nostalgia, that show plus a couple of others. And later on we'll be playing the Sweethearts of Yesterday theme right through, so stay for that. People I know who listen to that program will enjoy hearing that tune again. It's 9:20. Celebrating 400 hours of top nostalgia. You're listening to the 100th edition of Thanks for the Memory on 88.3 Southern FM, the station that sounds great to me. 9:21, yes, sounds great to me too. Hope you're enjoying our music. Well, Peter Dawson comes to our program now, and what would a nostalgia show be without perhaps one of Australia's greatest singers, a bass baritone, Peter Dawson. He did a lot of recording. He actually went from cylinders right through until stereo. So here's two in a row from Peter Dawson. First up, Sons of the Brave, and then Along the Road to Gundagai.
When the bugle sounds the clarion call, from the countryside they're rallying all, ready to dare and serve whatever befall. Sons of the brave, the nation's pride. Side by side the boys are swinging along, with a cheery smile and frolicking song. To the battlefront they'll soon belong, glorious victory to decide. They're marching, marching, marching away, step by step and side by side, on the road that leads to victory. Sons of the brave and the nation's pride. Sad hearts are left and homes bereft of love and life and laughter. They go to claim a hero's name in freedom's cause to conquer. And who will say we bid you stay? Their heritage is glory, so in golden words their name engraved. All hail the bravest of the brave. Marching down the cannon road, they face the foe, ever ready and unafraid, steady neath the shout and shell. No heart they shall prevail. Onward heroes on, they fall, yet the city shall rise again, sacrificing till his cause. There shall he be in vain. On the homeward road they're marching along, not a voice is heard in rollicking song. For to the battlefield their thoughts belong, sons of the brave, the nation's pride. When the roll is called there's many a name, never answered though they call it again. Honor is theirs for them, a hero's name, sons of the brave, the nation's pride. They're marching, marching, marching along, step by step and side by side, for the path has led to victory. Sons of the brave and the nation's pride. There's a scene that lingers in my memory of an old bush home and friends I I long to see. That's why I am yearning just to be returning along the road to Gandagai. There's a track winding back to an old-fashioned shack along the road to Gandagai, where the blue gums are growing and the marambitchis flowing beneath that sunny sky, where my daddy and mother are waiting for me, and the past of my childhood once more I will see. Then no more will I roam when I'm heading right home along the road to Gandagai. When I get back there, I'll be a kid again, who will never have a thought of grief or pain. Once more I'll be playing where the guns are swinging along the road to Gandagai. There's a track winding back to an old-fashioned shack along the road to Gandagai, where the blue gums are growing and the marambitchis flowing beneath the sunny sky, where my daddy and mother are waiting for me, and the past of my childhood once more I will see. Then no more will I roam when I'm heading right home along the road to Gandagai.
Australia's bass baritone Peter Dawson, and couldn't get much more Australian than that, could you? Along the road to Gandagai, and then the march Sons of the Brave, opening up that two-track bracket there from Peter Dawson. We hope you enjoyed Peter in our program this evening. 27 minutes after 9, and I have a note here that there's a giant record and collectibles fair next Sunday, the 15th of September, and you ask where? Well, it's at the Royal Exhibition Building in Carlton. Now, if you want a stall for this, there are still some spaces available. You can call 9571 3577. 9571 3577. Now, there'll be LPs, CDs, cassettes, comics, all sorts of things, 78s even, science fiction and movie memorabilia, videos, trading cards, and lots more. Over 250 tables. It certainly is Melbourne's largest giant record and collectibles fair. A small admission of $2.50. That's next Sunday between 9:30am and 5pm at the Royal Exhibition Buildings in Carlton. 28 after 9 now with 88.3.
This is Southern FM 88.3.
Thank you very much, Peter. Now back to our music and a couple of requests, one after the other here, for Ernie Fuller. How you doing, Ern? Ern works here at the station, and he's another supporter of our program and has been for quite a while now. Ernie would like to hear The Broken Record, and we're going to play that from the BBC Dance Orchestra. The vocal on this occasion, Dan Donovan. And straight after that, for Jeff Green, who's also been a long-time requester, and Shirley over there in East Bentley. Shirley is not hearing the program live tonight, but by little magic of recording tape, I'll be able to loan you the tape of the program, Shirley. Hopefully things are working okay out there. Anyway, I'm going to play you a track along with Jeff Green. I'll include the pair of you on this one, another one from Bing Crosby, and one that I like very much called Thanks. But first up, let's have a listen to The Broken Record, and it's Dan Donovan with the BBC Dance Orchestra.
sweetheart. You're gorgeous, you're gorgeous, you're gorgeous, you're gorgeous, you're gorgeous, you're gorgeous tonight. That's a song I heard on the phonograph. The needle caught on the broken half and kept playing and saying, my sweetheart, I kiss you, 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 I kiss you tonight. All at once I started to think of you, the things I've wanted to say and do when we're dancing, romancing. The broken record played on and then the broken record started again. My sweetheart, I love you, 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 I do. Oh, the tune sounds silly, I will agree. The words sound daffy, but not to me. For there's no doubt it's the way I feel about you.
Tuned to the great southern sounds of Melbourne, 88.3 Southern FM.
We used to dwell in love's own palace, a palace of dreams come true. Now that we're through, I bear no malice, though we've called it a day. All I can say is thanks for all the lovely delight I found in your embrace. I'm thankful, though I know it's ending all too soon. And thanks for unforgettable nights I never can replace, and memories that linger like a haunting tune. It is better to have loved you, dear, and lost, and never to have loved at all. Yes, it's better, for no matter what the cost, I held the world in sway, I never for a day. And thanks again for taking me on the road to paradise. We lost our way, still I must convey my thanks. to have loved at all. Yes, it's better, for no matter what the cost, I held the world in sway, an emperor or a day. And thanks again for taking me on the road to paradise. We lost our way, but still I must convey my thanks.
Well, there it was. Thanks very much indeed to Bing Crosby once again. And that time with Jimmy Greer's orchestra, and that recording made in Hollywood in August 1933, over 63 years ago. It's 24 and a half minutes to 10 now with 88.3 Southern FM. And I hope you're enjoying the music we're playing. Don't forget that you can give us a call on 9556 4466 if you'd like a request as we go into our second centenary, into the show from number 101 onwards. We'd be delighted to play a record for you. I've got some records to play from some of our listeners. I'm holding those in hand. But if you certainly would like to make a request, please do. You can call me and I'll look after that, or you can write to the station here at 88.3. Thanks for the memory of the program, of course. PO Box 188 Moorabbin 3189. Well, I think we'll move on with the music, and an Australian artist who went over to England and did very well for herself on the music hall, on the boards as they would say. Florrie Ford was her name, and she's long departed the mortal coil, but through the electric recording we still can listen to her as she sings for us now, Waltz Me Around Again, Willie. I love this track. Here we go.
Willie Fitzgibbons, who used to sell ribbons and stood up all day on his feet, grew very spoony on Madeline Mooney, who'd rather be dancing than eat. Each evening she'd tag him to some dance hall, drag him, and when the band started to play, she'd up like a silly and grab tired Willie, steer him on the floor, and she'd say, waltz me around again, Willie, around and round and round. The music is dreamy, it's peaches and creamy, oh, don't let my feet touch the ground. I feel like a ship on an ocean of joy, I just want to holler out loud, ship ahoy, oh, waltz me around again, Willie, around and round and round. Willie de Vere was a dry goods cashier, at his desk he would sit all the day, till his doctor advised him to start exercising, or else he would soon fade away. One night this poor loony met Madeline Mooney Fitzgibbons and shouted with joy, she's a good health regainer, you've got a great trainer, just wait till she hollers, my boy. Waltz me around again, Willie, around and round and round. The music is dreamy, it's peaches and creamy, oh, don't let my feet touch the ground. I feel like a ship on an ocean of joy, I just want to holler out loud, ship ahoy, oh, waltz me around again, Willie, around and round and round. Waltz me around again, Willie, around and round and round. The music is dreamy, it's peaches and creamy, oh, don't let my feet touch the ground. I feel like a ship on an ocean of joy, I just want to holler out loud, ship ahoy, oh, waltz me around again, Willie, around, around, around.
Waltz Me Around Again, Willie. and that was the Australian Florrie Ford, who was a big performer on the music halls. 20 minutes to 10 is our time with 88.3, and I meant to mention at our last break that a few people have called in tonight, and I do thank you all for ringing in. Lynn Brown rang in and wanted to say cheerio to Jan Simcoe from Lynn and David. So there you go, Jan. I'm sure that that is reciprocated too. So thank you very much. It's lovely how people sort of call in and want to send Cheerios to people who are, well, good friends, and that's nice. 20 minutes to 10, as I said, with 88.3 Southern FM.
Sometimes, for children and parents, there's a point when distress or abuse seems overwhelming. At these times, people turn to Copeland Child and Family Services, previously the Methodist Babies Home. Now Copeland Child and Family Services needs your help. Give a family a future. Support the Copeland Cares Appeal by becoming a Blue Book agent to seek donations from your colleagues, friends or club members. Call 9510-2444. 9510-2444. Donations are tax deductible.
Hi there, I'm Ed Monsper, and if you like my kind of jazz, come to the Jazz Band Ball on this station, 88.3 Southern FM.
The Jazz Band Ball, every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock.
It's a good program too, 8 o'clock on Wednesdays. David Fletcher, my good buddy, and the Jazz Band Ball. 18 and a half minutes away from 10 o'clock now. You're with 88.3, and you're listening to Southern FM, the centenary edition of Thanks for the Memory.
Just the thought of you, the very thought of you, my love. proud of you,
No prizes for guessing who that was. Of course, Al Bowley. And we've got more Al coming up tonight in our program because he's a very popular performer. The Very Thought of You was the track, Ray Noble's orchestra backing there. 14 and a half minutes away from 10 o'clock. And right after this, we're going to play the very first recording that I played on the program all those episodes ago. You're listening to the 100th edition of Thanks for the Memory, right here on 88.3, the station that sounds great to me. Well, we dusted off the old Decca 78 once more, and we've got out the Bandoliers recording of a Christy Minstrel selection. So I hope you enjoy listening to this. This was the very first recording played in the program on the 16th of October, 1994. Here it is for an instant replay. Well, not quite. Reaching into your community, the great southern sounds of Melbourne, 88.3 Southern FM. Dick Powell.
How can I convey it all? I don't want to bore you. It's so hard to say it all. Standing here before you, I've so very much to say in so many ways. but I found a different way in a current phrase. Thanks a million thanks to you for everything that love could bring. You brought me each tender love word you happen to say is hidden away in memory's bouquet. Thanks a million, for I remember too the tenderness that your caresses taught me. You made a million dreams come true, and so I'm saying thanks a million to you. Remember too the tenderness that your caresses taught me. You made a million dreams come true, and so I'm saying thanks a million to
Yes, Dick Powell it was, with the Victor Young Orchestra, and the tune we heard was Thanks a Million. Lovely song, wasn't it? One of my favourites, and I'm playing a lot of my favourite recordings in tonight's program. I guess that's why it's sounding pretty good, at least that's sounding good to me. And I want to thank those people that rang up, and Jan Simcoe rang in following the call from Lynn and David, and she reciprocates to you both down there in Bentley. Lynn and David, all the very best to you from Jan. And glad you're enjoying the program, Jan, and a little bit of a tear in the eye was there before. Well, never mind. That's what memories are for. Let's have this message, this little commitment. We'll be right back with you with more music as we continue our journey in our 100th edition.
Hi, I'm Ted Keeley. Each Tuesday at 12 noon on Southern FM, I present Blues at Lunchtime. A 2-hour program. It features rhythm and blues, blues rock, and the older style bottleneck blues. How about joining me for Blues at Lunchtime, Tuesdays at 12 noon on 88.3 Southern FM.
And I want to thank Ted Keeley too, long-time supporter of this program and of me personally. Thank you, mate. I do appreciate that, and I know that you're probably getting under the doona of life as we speak, but that you'll have a tape running over the program. 6 minutes to 10 just on. The temperature reading is 11 degrees here in Moorabbin.
You're tuned to Thanks for the Memory with Alex Hehr on 88.3 Southern FM.
Thank you, Brendan. And our time now is 6 to 10, and let's have this particular track for Edna. And Edna's one of the volunteers down at the ladies' arthritis shop, the Malvern arthritis shop. I'll get it right in a minute. She's one of the ladies down at the Malvern arthritis shop. And Edna, I thought you might like to hear this lovely song from Richard Talbot tonight. It's called Marquita. So here he is to sing it. One of my favourites too, and I know there's a lot of people that enjoy the music of Richard Talbot.
Marquita, I still hear you calling me back to your arms
close once again. I still feel the smell of your last kiss upon me. Since then life has all been in vain. All has been sadness without you, Marquita. Each day finds me lonely and blue. My poor heart is broken. I want you, Marquita. I need you, Marquita. I do. Marquita, Marquita, in dreams I can see you, your sweet face with love all aglow. Your voice like soft music still echoes around me as in the old days long ago. Come back, dear, with you here, Marquita, then life once more joyful will be. The world's drear and lonely and sunless, Marquita, your love was life's sunshine to me. With you here, Marquita, then life once more a joyful will be. The world's drear and lonely and sunless, Marquita, your love was life's sunshine to me.
Marquita, beautiful song, and the late Richard Tauber. Moving our time to 2 minutes to 10.
The best blend of music, community news and views. The great southern sounds of Melbourne. 88.3 Southern FM.
And anyone who is perhaps hearing the program and wondering why the format's a little bit different, well, tonight being the 100th edition, I'm playing just recordings through stuff that I enjoy, that I've picked up over 30 years of loving nostalgia, and I'm hoping that you're loving it as well. Tonight, back next week, we'll be back with the normal things, and of course the special next week will be part 4, the concluding part of Memories of Mo. So that's at 10 o'clock next week in our program. We were talking earlier about how I got switched on to the nostalgic sound, and one of the programs that I very much enjoyed was a show on 3GL Geelong, which is now K-Rock, but a program called Sweethearts of Yesterday. It ran for nearly 40 years. It started in the late 1930s and finished in 1975. For many of its years, through the 60s and the 70s right up to its demise, it was conducted by the chief announcer at 3GL, a very good friend of mine, the late David Coburn. And I was down there on many occasions to see David record the program, and then it was put on tape, of course, and that was presented on the Saturday night, I beg your pardon, at 9 o'clock for year in and year out. Sweethearts of Yesterday was its name, and I finally secured last year a copy of the theme. I had one on tape, but finally got a 12-inch Decca from England, a recording of the theme, which was A piece called The Silver Lake, and it's an old-time dance called the Varsuviana. That's the tempo. The Galloway Rualt Old Time Orchestra, conducted by Bobby Howell, are the people that play this particular piece. And I know that Ernie will enjoy hearing this all over again. It's been many years since Sweethearts of Yesterday finished, 21 years in fact. So here it is, Ern, and for anyone else who may have listened to that wonderful program that came from 3GL every Saturday night, here's the theme for Sweethearts of Yesterday right the way through. I hope you enjoy it.